After 6 long years of reading blog posts and drooling over screenshots, Guild Wars 2 has finally launched, and I'm here to bring you up to speed with Arenanet's epic sequel. I'm going to start off by answering the question most people want to know. How does this compare to every other MMO? It doesn't. Arenanet took the formula for how we look at MMOs and has totally rewritten it. Let's start with the beginning, character creation. Starting by choosing from 5 playable races, Char, Human, Sylvari, Asura, or Norn, you choose your profession, such as Warrior or Elementalist. Then you get asked a series of questions about your character, each one affecting the outcome of your personal story. Once you're finished making your character, you will immediately notice the difference between this and other MMOs. The leveling system in Guild Wars 2 is much different than any other MMO on the market today. Instead of only gaining abilities when you level, you have a set of skills based on what weapon you are holding, and they are unlocked when you kill more enemies. The skills are different between each profession. For instance, an Elementalist has a different skill bar for each element they want to attack with, or Rangers who can switch between ranged and melee combat. You can make these changes mid-fight, making each encounter very fun and different. Guild Wars has done some major renovations to the questing system as well. There are no quests. You have your own personal story missions, which play out like any single-player RPG. When you start one mission, you are put into an instance where you can play out part of the story. Missions range from talking to a queen to destroying a fleet of invading pirates. Each mission scales in difficulty by 2 or 3 levels, making it almost impossible to complete the next mission without gaining more levels, meaning you'll have to find some way of gaining levels in the meantime. Well, how does this work without quests? Arenanet developed a heart system. When you look on your map, you'll see a heart. This means an NPC needs your help. Just by approaching the area that the person is in, you'll receive a list of problems that person has. By dealing with any of them, you will fill up an experience bar under the area where the problems are listed. Once the bar is full, they give you experience and you can continue on your way. They also introduced a dynamic event system. These are events that only happen once in a while and can have an effect on certain areas. For example, I was sitting in a small town trading some supplies when the town became overrun with centaurs. Me being one of the only players in the town, I was quickly outnumbered and killed, and the town became enemy territory. Once people in the area realized what happened, a group of 30 or so players, including myself, charged in and retook the town. With events like this, depending on how much participation you put in, damage, healing, etc., you will get a medal, either bronze, silver, or gold, and that will determine how much experience you gain from the event. The problem with this, however, in certain leveling areas, there aren't enough hearts or events to go around to make it seem new every time, so you may find yourself escorting the same group of soldiers 3 or 4 times just so you can get enough experience to move on to your next story mission. Guild Wars also heavily encourages exploration. There are many viewpoints scattered around each area, some of which make you jump through some tough challenges to reach, and reward you with great view and experience. There are also skill point challenges. These range from difficult bosses needing 5 or more people to kill, or climbing to a rock on the top of a waterfall. When you accomplish the skill challenge, you are given a skill point, which you can use to buy skills from a new talent system. You also gain one of these skills per level, so no matter what, you will eventually get these skills, but doing the skill challenges is an easy way to gain more skill. Graphically, the game is beautiful. With a realistic tone, the graphics really bring you into the game world and make you feel like you are part of a living, breathing world. I found myself sitting on the top of a hill looking out across the sea and feeling complete nostalgia while listening to the game's marvelous soundtrack that has many reflections of the original Guild Wars. If killing monsters and exploring dungeons isn't your cup of tea, there's also a great PvP system. There are 2 types to choose from. There are your standard battle arenas, which consist of capturing and holding areas to gain points, and there's world versus world versus world. This is a great concept. It puts your server against 2 other servers for control over 4 huge areas of land. The more land your server holds, the better your server economy is. This makes PvP a must for people who want to control the market. Speaking of the market, there is a very interesting market called the Black Lion. Besides having the standard auction-style trading that we are used to seeing in most MMOs, Black Lion allows you to buy cosmetic items like sunglasses or baseball caps directly from Arenanet. They use a gem currency which you can either earn in-game or pay for with real money. Besides the sometimes repetitive nature of the event system, it's very hard to find fault with Arenanet's epic MMO. With the leveling process being slower than other games, the focus of this game is purely on what you do while you level, not what you do when you get to the max level 80. So I can't fully give you a game score until I have seen everything the game has to offer. My hopes are high that the endgame content will be as rewarding as the leveling experience. So stay tuned to Vivid Gamer for my complete review once I hit level 80, and I will give this game a full score.